Week 4 of Texas high school football, and this week our 9 overtime crew is highlighting a rematch between El Dorado and Eastwood. Our KTSM 9 sports reporter Kelly Horson brings us more from Sac 2 ahead of the game. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Estella. Last season in this matchup, we saw Eastwood come up on the losing side of things against El Dorado. The Troopers coming up just short to the Aztecs by 1 point, but because of that loss, Eastwood heads into tonight with some vengeance. Now, when you look at this Troopers team, they look completely different this year than they did last. They head into week 4 with the same exact record as last year, 2-1, but the biggest difference is going to be its win margin. When you look at its victories this year, that win margin is much larger, not to mention when you look at its lone loss on the season, that was against the #1 team in the entire country, against California St. John Bosco. The team saying they took much more positives away from that loss than negatives. Here's how the team is fielding overall headed into week 4, taking on El Dorado.
We've just seen a lot of growth, again, when you line up against a team that has like 38 Division I players, obviously it can be very humbling, but I felt like they've responded well the next 2 weeks. Chapin obviously had a lot of great athletes, and then obviously, with Odessa coming in, we knew we wanted to control the line of scrimmage. We knew the weather was going to be at least part of the story that night, and I thought our running backs did a great job. Defense is really flying around, tackling well, so again, we look forward to a really good matchup this week with El Dorado.
Honestly, it feels like everything's clicking, Our wins have really changed from last year. Last year, Odessa, it was like a one-score game. But this year, I think we decided to, we really controlled them. Don't let the loss fool you, is like my main thing. St. John Bosco, those guys are different. I feel like after that game, no one can really mess with us.
Troopers look to keep the good times rolling and get its lick back from its 55-54 loss last season against El Dorado. They also look to snap the Aztecs' perfect undefeated 3-0 record. We're just over an hour away from kickoff. Things are going to get started here at 6:30 over at Sac 2, but we're going to continue to bring you coverage from this week's game of the week coming up shortly at 6 o'clock. For now, reporting live from Sac 2, Kelly Horson, KTSM 9 Sports.